All right. This is the final match of Keyforge Events Wednesday night tournament. KFE. This is Firesa versus Virindi. This is a reversal tournament, which means that Firesa is playing the deck that Virindi bought, and Virindi is playing the deck that Firesa bought. If you have not been with us, you know that I lost to Firesa in this tournament, playing the deck that Virindi is playing now. Virindi is off to a pretty good start with it, though, having had a very strong opening hand. Having the Bulwark and 3 Sanctum creatures on the board with the inspirations and Amber generating abilities behind it is off to a quick 4-0 lead. Firesa wisely blowing up the board, taking the chains to get rid of the well-protected creatures with Bulwark and Protectrix on the board. With Bulwark and Protectrix, it's very difficult to do anything. Ember Imp pops down, so it's going to limit the options that Virindi has. Looking at Virindi's hand, I have to assume he's still going to call Mars. Probably play out the Think Drone and Plague Master. Gives him a couple of options to kill the Ember Imp next turn and follow it up with the rest of Mars. He could play out Plague Master and Zorg. That option, while useful, if something happens and Firesa can take out the 3-power creature without killing the Ember Imp, because Zorg is stunned, it will prevent killing the Ember Imp again. So I would, in his position, I'd play the 2 3-power creatures, and that's exactly what he does. Prepare for next turn. Say, if you want to stop me, you have to kill everything on my board instead of just one of the items on my board. On the other hand, looking at Firesa's hand, Firesa is going to say, I will give up and probably blow up the entire board. And play out a couple of artifacts. And if Firesa has looked at the deck list, I would discard Soft Landing. If Firesa hasn't looked at the deck list, he will probably continue to hold Soft Landing. But yes, the Ammonia Cloud does pop out, accepting that the Ember Imp is dead anyways, and going ahead and clearing the board. And Firesa did not discard Soft Landing, which works out reasonably well with Tonk. For those of you that did not watch this deck earlier, this is the deck that Firesa is currently playing. A quick calculation will tell you that it has a grand total of 10 creatures. 3 Mars creatures. So there are only 3 cards in the deck that Soft Landing even can be used with. Virindi's deck, on the other hand, is... Let's close out these other decks real quick. This one, which has some good options with the Dew Fairy, Witch of the Eye, 2 Ancient Bears and Bear Flute, triple inspiration. That having been said, it has sufficient creatures to actually try and do something, whereas the deck Firesa is playing is really limited in its options. The Overlord Grelkin can be useful, but it's going to have to set up something down the line. Deep Probe takes out all the untamed creatures, which kills off the Ancient Bear. I don't know that that really matters one way or the other. And Soft Landing brings Tunk into play, and then Tunk just reaps. There wasn't anything worth fighting because the Dominator is really big and protecting the Zorg, who is also really big. Either one of those would have killed Tunk straight out. Now we see Virindi considering. Honestly, I think I call Mars here, and that's exactly what he does. Clears the stuns, plays the John Smith, discards Phosphorus Stars. That's exactly the line I would have taken there. Firesa calls Dis with that hand. It makes perfect sense. Hand of Dis lets him kill off the Dominator, which, because of the Biomatrix backup, goes into the archive. Overlord Grelking pops into play. Can't say that's particularly surprising. The question is Firesa going to choose to arise or not? Chooses not to. The only thing that would have been picked up would have been the Ember Imp, so that's probably the right call. Could have picked up the Sergeant Zekiel, but that's also pretty low down the list. Oh gosh. Virindi is going to end up getting Zorg purged in all likelihood because of the harder they come. Um, Maybe purging the Dominator. I'm not sure because Zorg is already heavily damaged. That's a bit of a tough call, but he's definitely going to call. Firesa is definitely going to call Sanctum. Harder they come does purge the Dominator instead of the Zorg. If you can't kill the Zorg, I'm not sure that's the right play. It's questionable, but with Zorg and the amount of stunning that it does, it's going to lock down the board. I mean, yes, it will die in the next attack because Virindi doesn't have any way to heal it. I say it will die in the next attack. It won't because of Shield of Justice, but, well, that's Sanctum. If he chooses to use the Inspiration route, it won't die in the next attack. Neither here nor there. I think Virindi's going to call Sanctum. Surprisingly, Firesa has managed to get to the first key. So each deck has one key forged. And are at 0 amber apiece. So this is just neck and neck right now. Virindi calls Sanctum, which is not terribly surprising with that inspiration in hand. That's going to give him options. I think he's thinking right now, do I attack with Zorg or not? And secondarily, do I use the Protectrix, or sorry, the Gatekeeper? Virindi could easily drop Protectrix and then Inspiration the Protectrix to reap and heal the Zorg. That doesn't take care of stunning the Commander Remiel, which might be a concern. And yeah, he chooses to go ahead and use the Zorg to kill Commander Grek Thanks to the Shield of Justice, preventing any damage from being done, Zorg continues to live and gets to stun the champion Ramiel, Commander Ramiel. We're going to see Mars called, and we are going to see a Mother Gun used to put some damage on Protectrix. Nope, Gatekeeper. Why did he put it on Gatekeeper? Oh, because of the battle fleet. No? I'm confused. Battle fleet's just drawing, not damaging. Oh, that's because I can't read the cards that were in hand. I was thinking Battlefleet was Ammonia Clouds. Again, two cards with very similar art. I should have moused over to make sure I was looking at the card I was thinking I was looking at. Because the amber there should have been giveaway. Should have been a giveaway because Ammonia Clouds doesn't have amber. Yeah, Ammonia Clouds would have been amazing. Without the Ammonia Clouds, it was less impressive. The kind of mistakes that you, or at least I make when I'm playing a reversal type match when I'm not intimately familiar with the deck. I haven't played it several times. But Firesa is dropping more artifacts into play. Is Firesa going to choose to use the Arise here? I think he has to, because I don't know if there's going to be a better time to use the Arise. Chooses not to, but with only 3 disc creatures in the deck, yeah, only 3, getting 2 of them back is going to be about the best you can do. I think that Firesa should have used the Arise there. Now, granted, Overlord Grelking probably would have just turned around and died again. but at least it would have forced the combats. Firesa goes ahead and calls Sanctum. Thanks to Blinding Light, can stun all of the Sanctum creatures, and then the harder they come, takes out Zorg. Commander Remuel clears his stun. Champion Tavris pops in play, as does a Signal of the Brotherhood. Hallowed Blaster is not going to do anything. And the Gorm of Om, isn't going to blow up anything because Virindi has no artifacts. Only played 2 creatures, so Life Web doesn't give the bonus Amber. Snufflegator discards the key charge. Should discard at least one of the Save the Packs, if not both. I probably would discard both. You're not looking, with your opponent having double Hallowed Blasters, you're not looking to really be able to get damage on the board. So I'm not sure holding that Save the Pack is going to do a lot of good. Firesa, looking at this board, Hysteria is not going to do any good because you've got his creature stunned. In a few turns it might. Gateway to Dis, similarly, is going to hurt you more than it will hurt your opponent. The Arise wouldn't be bad. That having been said, I think I would lean towards Mars here. With the double Mother Guns, you can kill off Snufflegator, which is the only unstunned creature. Get John Smith into play, and if you ever draw another Mars creature, you could use John Smith to ready it. And Martian Hounds isn't going to do much. Well, you can put 1+1 power counter on John Smith by using the Mother Gun, then John Smith, then Martian Hounds, then the other Mother Gun. But Firesa instead, before shuffling the deck, this might be better. I still think he should have done it last turn, using Arise before reshuffling the deck, and Arise becomes useless. Gets the 3 creatures back, and then can use the Dominator Bauble to fight with Champion, fight with Champion Tabris to capture an Ember, which still clears the Snufflegator off the board. I would probably discard one of the 2 board wipes, whether it's Hysteria or Gateway to Dis. I don't really care. I would probably have discarded one of them, though, because they're filling redundant purposes and clogging up the hand. But no, I think that calling Dis there for the Arise, given that Arise wasn't used on the prior turn, was the right call. I rescind my statement about using Mars to get John Smith on the board. Virindi uses the Save the Pack that he saved from the last turn to kill off Champion Tabris, removing the Amber control option that he brings. After that, he's going to play Ancient Bear, Snufflegator, and Bear Flute. Nothing terribly unpredictable or exciting about that. But it does build up the board state and give him some options. There comes the Ancient Bear. I'm not even sure left or right matters. I would probably keep the stunned creatures in the middle, just because if Firesa gets a Hand of Dis, which Firesa's deck has 2, they'll be hitting a stunned Sanctum creature rather than one of the unstunned. Interesting. One of the unstunned, untamed creatures. I'm not sure why Virindi ended his turn when he did. He played the Ancient Bear. I assume that he was worried about a board wipe. I mean, he knows the deck that Fires is playing very well because it's his deck. But with Snudge on the board, that's just going to get bounced to your hand straight away. And Firesa is going and grabbing one of the Sanctum creatures. In this case, Gatekeeper. Yeah, not sure that was quite what I would have done, but grabbing Gatekeeper nonetheless. Why did Gatekeeper come into play exhausted, or did he already reap with it? No, he couldn't have reaped with it. I'm not sure why Gatekeeper came into play exhausted there. What I was going to say is I would have used Grelking to take Protectrix, but there's nothing about Grelking that says put the creature in play exhausted. It should maintain its exhaustion state. Right? No, creatures come into play exhaust. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I'm I'm dumb. I'm thinking of other take control mechanics, not the put it into play under your control. When you take control of a creature, it just transitions to you. This is put it into play. It doesn't trigger the play ability, I don't think, but it acts as though it comes into play, so it comes in exhausted. What I was thinking you could do would be grab Protectrix and then Dominator Bauble, Reap, and heal Grelking to full. But we see that oh, I missed why. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb. Once again, I'm acknowledging that I made an oversight. Firesa is really starting to dominate this match now. On the prior turn, I'm sure somebody in chat was yelling at me that Ember Imp was what was preventing Virindi from playing out all the untamed creatures on the prior turn. Because the Ember Imp was in play, he was able to play the Ancient Bear, and then uh, that cost him the match. The Snufflegator and the Ancient Bear, or the Save the Pack of the Ancient Bear, I think is what it was actually. And yeah, Virindi is saying I've lost the Ember Imp. There's nothing that Virindi's able to do to take care of the Ember Imp. um, Looking at the house right now, he could call Sanctum and take care of it. But then it's too little too late because the board state is out of control. He could have, if he called House Sanctum, he could have cleared Protectrix stun and then Inspiration Protectrix to clear the Ember Imp. But then Grelking eats Protectrix and the board state is completely out of control. I am impressed that Firesa is managing to manipulate this match into a win with this deck. It's been done through the 3 disc creatures that exist, entirely through the 3 disc creatures. I fully expect Firesa to call this here. It would be nice if he had the Overlord Grelking already in play, or had already taken the Protectrix, because then he could take, yeah. Anyways, I don't see any way for him to push. Well, I guess there is a way for him to push. Does he have? Oh, both decks have a Gatekeeper. That's why there are 2 Gatekeepers in play. I was being confused there for a minute. I don't see that he has a way to push Virindi off of the key that's going to be forged here. That having been said, there's not much that Virindi's going to be able to do to stop Firesa from getting to the 3rd key before he can do anything. And Firesa is acknowledging the rule order when Overlord Grelkin kills the Biomatrix backed up creature, the Biomatrix backup triggers always before the Grelkin's destroyed effect does. So the destroyed keyword triggers before the when a creature is destroyed text. So Overlord Grelkin does not get to take Tonk, even though he killed it, because it went to him in the archives first. It's the same as the Bad Penny scenario that was illustrated in the FAQ. That having been said, this board state is ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 artifacts and 8 creatures to nothing. I'm impressive. I will quickly paste in there. I see somebody in the chat asking for the deck lists. Control C, Control V. I have not been checking my chat frequently enough. Sorry, Modern Gamer. Virindi is just gets the second key, so it's going to go 3 keys to 2. But there is nothing that he's going to be able to do to get to the third key before Firesa does. I mean, he's got a radiated amber in hand that can clean up this board state quite a bit and start capturing some ember. But I don't think even if he uses the irradiated ember, did he discard it? No, he played it to get the amber. Even if he had been able to, there would have been no way to push Firesa off of the 6 amber. That was impressive, Firesa. So that means that tonight Firesa takes the victory on the reversal tournament. Not sure if Firesa's already won an event this month or not, but if Firesa's already won one, the prize will fall to Virindi. If not, Firesa will be getting. I'm actually not sure which of the sponsors was providing the prize for tonight's event, but one of the Keyforge event sponsors will be sending a prize to one of the Firesa for the victory here. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I've been a little bit tired, and I know I've stumbled through a couple things, particularly missing what the Ember Imp was doing to Virindi in that last game and how impactful it was. The Ember Imp is really what cost Virindi the match. It allowed him to protect Overlord Grelkin, and then with the protected Overlord Grelkin, having basically just stealing every creature that was played at that point. Past that, if you are interested in playing Keyforge yourself and have not seen it before, all of this has been done through the Crucible Online. There will be a link in the description of YouTube. If you're on Twitch, just say something if you don't know where I'm talking about. And if you would like to participate in Keyforge event tournaments, please join the Keyforge event Discord. Also in the link in the description below on YouTube. Tournaments are held every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. Monday is Field Deck. Friday is Standard Archon. And the past 2 Wednesdays have been Reversal. Wednesday is sometimes used to shift things up and try out different different tournament formats. But Reversal's been pretty popular. So come out, join us, and have some fun with Keyforge. Aside from that, I have been MathNut. This has been the Wednesday Reversal Tournament for February 27th, 2019. And congratulations to Firesa for taking home the victory. Have a good night.